Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a handful of some DIY summer home decor ideas. All the projects that I'm sharing with you guys fit a good variety of styles, including some patriotic and 4th of July decor items as well. A good portion of the items that I'm using for these DIYs come from the Dollar Tree, so everything is pretty easy to find and definitely budget friendly. First project I am sharing is going to be a vintage style patriotic plaque. I just have this God Bless America wood plaque that I picked up at Hobby Lobby on clearance. Found this nice high resolution image of Lady Liberty here. I'll have it linked below if you guys want to use it. Sized it to the correct size that I needed for my wood plaque, and I put a very light outline around it to know where I needed to cut. And then I just used Mod Podge and applied the image directly to the wood block. Because the wood absorbs the glue, I did use a pretty hefty amount. And as it dried, the image definitely kind of shriveled up a little bit, got a little wrinkly. So I kind of tried to smooth it out as it was drying. And then I went around and sealed the edges in with more Mod Podge. And then because I'm super extra, I had to add some glitter. So this was a super simple project, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love combining vintage and glam together, and I think this is the perfect combination. I love this image of Lady Liberty, and I think this is a really cool, unique piece for decorating for the 4th of July. Next up, I am making some nautical, beachy type candle holders or vases. I picked up this one here at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking some basic jute and gluing it to the bottom and wrapping the bottom half of my vase with it. And then I just used some dabs of hot glue throughout my way to make sure it's gonna stay in place. And I wrapped it just about halfway. Later on at a different trip to the dollar store, I found these beautiful, smaller, iridescent glass vases. So I did the same exact thing with my jute twine and wrapped the bottom. I grabbed this bag of seashells at the Dollar Tree as well. Of course, this would be much cooler if you live by the ocean and can pick your own shells. And then of course, again, I had to add a little glitter. And then with my hot glue, I just glued each of the shells onto the vase. I ended up putting some of my makeup brushes and lip products in these on my shelf in my beauty room, and I absolutely love them. I think they turned out really well. Next up, I have another coastal or beachy themed decor piece. And this is super simple, you guys. I'm not claiming it's anything fancy or super creative. I think apothecary jars are a great way to add some seasonal decor to your home. I'm just adding some more of the Dollar Tree seashells in with the fairy lights to create a nice little summertime aesthetic. I think this looks really nice, and if you put it on a shelf, you can easily hide the battery pack from the lights. I put this on my shelf with the Little Mermaid tail that I also picked up at Dollar Tree, and I think it looks really cute. Next up is another Patriotic one, and again, super simple, not claiming that this is anything groundbreaking here. I just have this simple jar, and I picked up these white geraniums at Hobby Lobby. I thought these ones looked a little bit nicer. If you watch my channel, you know I'm pretty picky about my faux flowers. And then I'm just adding some of these dollar store flags for a patriotic vibe. One looks nice, but I really liked the look with two. Geraniums are the epitome of a summer flower to me, and they look really nice next to my little colonial people. Then I'm just doing another kind of patriotic floral arrangement. I have this faux boxwood from Hobby Lobby. I added one little smaller flag, which I think looks nice, but I wanted to do something a little bit more different than the other one I just did. So I have this burlap ribbon that I picked up at the Dollar Tree that I am going to wrap the base of my jar with. I have one of these little glittery stars that come in a pack of vase filler from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to glue one of these sticks onto the base. And then I just added that in my arrangement for an extra little glam pop of patriotic color. I think this looks really nice. I also put this on my shelves in my kitchen next to my Lady Liberty plaque. My next project is very tropical. I have one of these little houses that I grabbed from the Dollar Tree. I'm fairly certain these are going to be a super hot commodity soon. And I'm just mixing up some of my white chalk paint and tinting it with some of my acrylics to create a nice blue-green teal color, and I'm painting the wood part of the house. I didn't care about getting any paint on the inside because I was going to cover that up. I have a piece of this scrap paper that is from my peel and stick wallpaper project I recently did that I thought would be perfect for this. So I just traced the house onto my scrap paper here, and because the outside dimensions are different than the inside, I just measured what that gap was and made some marks to size down to the correct dimensions. I should have cut this out with an X-Acto, but I was too lazy. I did end up having to kind of trial and error fit this in here and trim off a little bit more. After it was the right size, I peeled off the back of my wallpaper here and stuck it in, starting with the arch at the top and just smoothing my way down. I improvised and used this tiny bottle of hand cream to smooth it out. I just used my X-Acto to trim off any overhanging edges. And here's how that turned out. I love this little house. I'm actually calling it a beach cabana, not a house. And I love how the palm leaves look. And my next project is going to be a pair of ice cream painted mason jars. Picked these two mason jars up at the Dollar Tree. I'm just using a mixture of my white chalk paint with some tinted acrylics. I wanted to get a nice creamy vanilla type of shade. And I've actually never painted glass jars with chalk paint before, and I was very happy with the coverage. It worked out pretty nicely. Of course, you could spray paint these too, which is typically what I do, but I didn't have the color I was looking for in a spray paint. Like I said, it did have good coverage, but I did do 2 coats just to get a nice opaque finish. Next, I took my pencil and started just lightly sketching some lines of what I'm calling ice cream drips. You could of course freehand this, but I definitely wanted to have a couple of guidelines since my drips were a little bit more ornate, I would say. So I decided to do 2 different color ice cream drips. The first one I did is like a strawberry. So I mixed up a nice shade of strawberry pink. And then I just took a small fine brush and colored in my drip lines. And then for my second one, I just did white. So maybe it would look like whipped cream. So I'm not gonna take credit for coming up with this idea. I pinned something similar to this on Pinterest many moons ago and have always wanted to make them, and I figured now is the time. And what really makes these look awesome is the sprinkles. I took another small fine brush and brushed on some Mod Podge glue and sprinkled on my sprinkles. Now, I would say this definitely was not the best method if you're gonna do this. Sprinkling them on created a huge mess. I would recommend using a better glue than Mod Podge and rolling it. So sprinkling the sprinkles on a plate and rolling your jar or container into the sprinkles so they don't go everywhere like they did for me. I decided that these jars needed a gloss finish rather than the matte finish that the chalk paint gave them. So I gave them a spray of some clear coat enamel. Now, unfortunately, my white drippy jar was a casualty because I accidentally spray painted it with white instead of clear. So we said bye-bye to that one. But the clear enamel definitely helped lock in those sprinkles because they definitely fall off easily. And I also learned that because of how intricate my drip design was, doing a ton of sprinkles just made it look really messy and random. For the second one, I used just my fingers and dabbed them on in smaller amounts so it's not as concentrated, which I think ended up looking better. Alright, you guys, that's it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you enjoy DIY projects like this, and follow me on Instagram for even more inspiration. And I'll see you guys in my next video.